out your mind. 10th fact is that Genghis Khan stalked and murdered his own brother. When he was 14, Genghis Khan caught a fish and brought it back to his family, only to have his half-brother snatch it from his hands and refuse to share a bite with anyone else. Furious, Genghis Khan stalked his brother until he was alone and murdered him mercilessly with a bow and arrow. 9th fact is that when he was 20, Genghis Khan crushed an entire Tatar army. Every Tatar man was lined up, and those who were taller than 3 feet were beheaded. In effect, Genghis Khan's order slaughtered every male Tatar, leaving the infants homeless. 8th fact is that his victim's bone was mistaken for mountains. Yes, you read it right. After beating the mighty Jin Empire, whose population was up to 50 million, Genghis Khan burned down the whole empire, killing all the people in the Jin Empire. The massacre was so horrific that months later a passing witness wrote that the bones of the slaughtered formed white mountains, and that the soil was still greasy and fat. 7th fact is that once during a battle with Taygetugiit clan, Genghis Khan's horse fell due to a shot from an archer's bow, nearly killing him in the process. Later, after beating him, Genghis Khan asked who was the one who killed his horse. The archer, instead of hiding, came front and confessed. Genghis Khan was so impressed by his honesty that he made the archer one of his generals. 6th fact is that he made his allies marry his daughters by killing all their wives. But this was not the end. Later he sent the kings of the allies to the front line of the Mongolian army. Almost everyone died in the battles, and later his daughters took charge of an entire kingdom stretching from China's Yellow Sea to Iran's Caspian Sea. 5th fact is that he exterminated 1.7 million people to avenge one person. Once Genghis Khan's favorite son-in-law, Taygetugiit, was killed by an archer from Nishapur. To avenge for his son-in-law's death, he killed and beheaded every single person, dogs, cattle, etc. living in Nishapur and piled up all their heads into a pyramid, which was a request made by his daughter to ensure no one gets away without simple wounding. 4th fact is that in 1223, Genghis Khan's army defeated Russian army. Later generals and nobility of the Russian army were forced to lie on the ground. Later a heavy wooden gate was thrown on top of them. Chairs, tables were set on top of gate, and army sat down for a victory celebration on the top of living bodies of their enemies, eating and drinking, while Russian princes were crushed to death beneath their feet. 3rd fact is that Genghis Khan diverted a river through an enemy's birthplace to erase it off the map. Once, in order to seek revenge from Kingdom of Khwarezmia, he sent 200,000 soldiers and won. Later he again sent 2 groups of armies, each having some 500,000 soldiers, to burn down every castle, towns, and farms of this kingdom. He also diverted a river that ran through Empire's birthplace to make sure that this empire would never be seen on map again, showing his cruelty at its peak. 2nd fact is that he has erased an entire kingdom from history. Genghis Khan was not offered troops by SYSKA clan, one of his allies. This made him so angry that he demolished and exterminated every member of the population, causing its disappearance of its history. The existence of SYSKA Empire came from neighboring countries. Also, their language was not recovered for more than 700 years, until mid-20th century, where archaeologists found their writing on unearthed stones. At first, the most terrifying fact related to Genghis Khan is that everyone involved in burying Genghis Khan was killed. After his death, Genghis Khan wanted to be buried where no one could find his corpse. In honor of his wishes, his body was carried miles into wilderness by a group of slaves escorted by soldiers. After burying the king, the slaves were killed and thrown into the grave. The soldiers rode their horses over it and planted trees on top to hide this spot. After the soldiers returned to the camp, they were slaughtered, as well to make sure that no one would ever talk about the grave. So due to this, the grave was never found and remained a mystery. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like, share, and subscribe our channel to keep upgrading yourself with amazing facts.